When we go out to eat, we never agree on where to go.
I want burgers!
Pizza.
Tacos it is.
The one thing we do agree on is we all want unlimited high-speed data. That's why we switched to Metro PCS.
Stop by Metro PCS with the whole family and get 4 lines with unlimited LTE data for just $100, period. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out.
Coverage not available in some areas. Offers require port and of number not currently active on T-Mobile network. During congestion, the fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video streams at up to 40p. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Nonprofit U, a forum where nonprofit stakeholders can share lessons learned and discuss the latest developments in the industry. My name is Valerie, Leonard, your host. I'm a consultant to nonprofits, and I specialize in community and organizational development. I work with nonprofit organizations to help them make a stronger impact to their clients and communities. You can find Nonprofit U on Facebook and on Twitter. I encourage you to comment early and often using the hashtags NonprofitU, The Law Project, or Community Law. You can also leave comments on blogtalkradio.com/nonprofit_U. You can join the discussion or leave comments and questions on the Nonprofit U Facebook page. In order for you to post, you must like the page. You can also email me questions at consulting@ValerieFLeonard.com. Don't forget to sign up for our mailing list. There is a sign-up button on the top right-hand corner of the Nonprofit U Facebook page, and we'll be taking questions by phone and from our chat room at about 2:30 or so. The call-in number is 347-884-8121. Participate in the live chat. You must open an account, and the link is found on the episode page. We're very encouraged. We want small businesses to come and call in, or if you run a nonprofit that focuses on community and economic development, please feel free to call in. Or if you are interested in small business development or nonprofit management, feel free to call in with your questions and comments. So today's episode is using the law to build small businesses. We have as our guest Angie Hall. Angie is a staff attorney with the Community Law Project of the Chicago Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. The Community Law Project provides pro bono legal advice and services to nonprofit entities and to small businesses. Ms. Hall works primarily with the Small Business Program and the Home Ownership Program. Her work for Community Law Project focuses on solving the legal problems of small business entrepreneurs so that they can focus their attention on growing their businesses. Prior to the Community Law Project, Angie was a sole practitioner whose legal practice consisted primarily of residential real estate transactions. Prior to having her own practice, Angie was an associate at a small law firm where she counseled and litigated municipal law, employment discrimination cases. Angie is a 1993 graduate of the University of Illinois College of Law. She received her paralegal certificate at Roosevelt University Institute for Paralegal Studies in 1989 and her Bachelor of Arts degree from Northwestern in 1988. She was admitted to practice in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois and the Supreme Court of Illinois. Angie currently serves as chair of the Cook County Bar Association, lawyer-to-lawyer mentoring program, and is on the board of Strive tutoring program. So thanks for being on the show today, Angie. You have quite an impressive background. I think I know you, but just reading this intro shows me things I didn't know. So it's an honor to have you again.
Yep, happy to be on the show, Valerie.
And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about the Community Law Project, how you got involved, what your mission is, who you serve, and some of your latest accomplishments?
Sure. The Community Law Project, we are one of the projects of Chicago Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. So the work that we try to do here is we try to identify and disrupt patterns of discrimination. The Chicago Lawyers Committee has long-standing partnerships with member law firms, and we provide high-quality legal assistance to clients and communities in litigation and in transactional legal matters. We use a broad range of advocacy tools also that include direct legal services, impact litigation, policy, advocacy, community education, and coalition. So the current projects of Chicago Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights focus on education, housing, voting and civic empowerment, public safety, and community economic development. So the Community Law Project is the transactional arm of Chicago Lawyers Committee, and we do the work related to community economic development.
Okay.
So, very recently we changed our name from the Law Project to Community Law Project because we felt that Community Law Project is more descriptive of the legal work that we do, and also the Law Project just left people a little bit wondering what we do. So Community Law Project is more descriptive. So what we do here is we work to build, strengthen, and support community-based organizations that are focused on economic development in the Chicago area, low to moderate income neighborhoods. And we offer and deliver, and we also work to provide services within those communities. The volunteers, we work with volunteers at Chicago's top law firms, and Community Law Project has an expert legal staff that provides nonprofit leaders and small business owners the knowledge to sustain their programs to improve outcomes and spur economic development. And I've been here as a staff attorney since August of 2005.
Wow. And I know you didn't ask for this commercial, but I definitely want to vouch for your services. I was working with a client who had a series of issues around nonprofit compliance back in the day, and we called, your agency, and they put us in contact with some of the top attorneys in the city of Chicago, all pro bono. We got services that one might pay upwards of $500 an hour for pro bono, but obviously they had to go through an application process. But, we were given access to a top-flight tax attorney from a top-flight law firm, and the issue was handled expeditiously. We got her done within about a month or so. The issues were resolved. So that's great work on you guys' part.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear, and we certainly hope that we have a lot of other testimonials out there that people can share about being happy with the legal assistance that they receive, that people have received over the years from Community Law Project. And as you said, our services are offered at no cost, and the legal work is done on a pro bono or free basis. And like you said, we do have an application process, of course. If people can afford to pay for lawyers, then we, of course, would prefer for them to do so. So we're really out there to serve a community, like a low to moderate income community. So we're there to fill the gap for people who cannot afford to pay for legal services.
Fill that gap you do.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what we want to do. And like you said, we do have a staff of attorneys and a paralegal here, but most of the legal work is done from volunteers who come to our office, and they're from the Chicago's top law firms. So they come to us for pro bono projects. So we screen the projects, we review the applications, we do some of the legal work in-house, but the majority of the legal work goes out to the law firm volunteer attorneys.
Okay, great. And we'll be talking about that more. We got almost an hour before us, so we've got plenty of time to talk about, the way things work and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So community law, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say now, while our name has changed, the work that we do, our mission, and the communities that we serve basically has remained the same.
Mhm.
So,
And that's great.
like I said, oh, yeah, yep, and we're working to fill that need for people who are in need, people and nonprofits who are in need of legal services but cannot afford to get them ordinarily.
Mhm. And small businesses.
Yep. And the small business work and the home ownership work is the majority of the work that I do.
Okay. So the
yes.
Community Law Project, you've recently gone through a rebranding of sorts, and you kind of talked a little bit about that in your intro. So can you share with us a little bit about that process, along with some of the history? And I'm not trying to be redundant from your first question.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So the Community Law Project, we have, as you said, we've gone through a series of name changes, actually. In the time that I've been here, we've been the Community Economic Development Law Project. Then the name was shortened to just the Law Project. And just recently, within the last year, actually within the last couple months, we've changed our name to Community Law Project. So, like I said, the mission has basically remained the same for the last 32 years. So the Community Law Project has for years been the only resource out there that addresses the unmet transactional legal needs of mission-based, grassroots, nonprofit organizations and low to moderate income community citizens. And the way we do our legal work is we recruit highly qualified attorney volunteers to provide free legal services to community economic development and social service programs in the city of Chicago. So when I say transactional, sometimes people aren't sure what that means. So that means non-litigation legal services.
Okay.
So what we really do or work to do is we address the gap in services that are needed by low-income individuals and families across Chicago. So we really work to have the legal work that we do strengthen neighborhood organizations that serve this community, and we work to help them provide efficient, effective services.
Okay.
And we leverage our network of skilled volunteer attorneys, and we connect those attorneys to clients who have critical transactional legal needs. And so by assisting those clients with their legal needs, we help them develop their infrastructure and services. And we really work to provide meaningful legal work that helps our community, helps create new businesses, and helps homeowners. And so all of the legal work that we do here definitely helps stabilize Chicago's communities and neighborhoods. Something I will add.
Can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you for just a minute? Yeah, just to emphasize that point on strengthening infrastructure. This particular client, had a $10,000 IRS debt. That's why we brought them on. They could have potentially lost their tax-exempt status. And as a result of the work of, your organization and the attorney that they brought on, they were able to eradicate that debt completely. And, that debt, could have caused them to close their doors. But as a result of your intervention, this client was actually able to eliminate that debt completely, use the $10,000 toward the programs they originally earmarked them for, and they have grown exponentially since that time in 2005. So I'm sorry, I just had to interject and give another testimonial for how impactful your work is in terms of capacity building and infrastructure development.
Oh, yeah, that is great to hear, and that is absolutely what we have as our goal of the work that we do here. And it's really a shame that a lot of times when it comes to nonprofit organizations in the community and to small business entrepreneurs, They do great work. They have great services to offer to the community, but have not, just due to a lack of resources within the community and within their personal coffers, they skip the legal assistance that's really necessary to assist that business or nonprofit and help them move to the next level. So that's what we're here to do. And Valerie, could I share some information too about another program that we have, which is called our Community Benefits Program?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, the Community Benefits Program is one of our newer initiatives, and that program really started as a response to COP's community stakeholders telling us that there was a desire to advance new strategies to prevent displacement of existing community members as gentrification goes on. Gentrification definitely impacts small businesses and community members as large-scale developments move into the neighborhoods. So Community Benefits Agreements Program really helps bring together, or I guess provide support to coalitions of nonprofit organizations, and through the Community Benefits Program work in negotiations with developers to secure benefits for the surrounding communities. So it's a very exciting, newer program of COP.
Okay, that is awesome. And Allegra Fisher, is she the point person for that program?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she was on the show a couple months ago, and she was talking about some of the work that she's doing on the South Side around the Obama Presidential Library, and I believe she's also working with folks on the far South Side, working with the old U.S. Steel vacant land, trying to make sure that as there's significant redevelopment, the community's voice is heard at all steps. And, they're fortunate enough to have community leadership, is amenable to the community benefit agreement as well.
Yep, absolutely. So the work that I'm focused on and really want to share a lot of information today is about the Small Business Program. So what we work to do related to the Small Business Program is to arm clients with the legal knowledge and resources they need to establish and sustain their small businesses, in order to secure greater financial independence.
Okay.
So the majority of our small business clients are operating. They either are starting up or have existing businesses in Chicago's the Chicagoland area's underserved communities. So what we do is we provide both direct representation to clients in their legal issues, such as the corporate structure of their business. People come to us for issues related to C Corp, S Corp, or LLCs. People come to us for lease preparation and review, intellectual property issues related to trademark, copyrights, and protection of their logo, employment issues, contracts, business expansion. So that's in the area of direct legal representation, but we also do a lot of speaking engagements. We do legal alerts on issues that affect small business people. We do, we really try to do so much. We also do some monthly legal help desk out in the community.
Wow.
And we're really working hard to get out there and to provide the legal information that these businesses need.
I tell you, every time I talk to you guys, there's yet a new product and service. So I can definitely say that the Community Law Project is very, very innovative. You have been on the cutting edge on all things legal as they relate to small businesses, nonprofits, and and for individuals from time to time, right, as they develop their small businesses.
Well, thank you, and that's what we work to do. We are the legal services that we provide are both informational and the direct legal representation too. Because sometimes people don't necessarily need the direct legal work, but just need some information related to a particular legal issue.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
it's a
great.
place to come to. Oh, yeah. And we come out into the community if it's needed, which is definitely needed a lot. And our, I guess I would say that our website is really, or by calling our office, is really how you find out about the legal information and the work that we're doing currently.
You want to share your information now? I know I'm going to ask you again, but since you opened it up, how might we contact you?
Oh, sure. Our telephone number is 312-939-3638, and our offices we're downtown at 100 North LaSalle Street, Suite 600, and also our website, which is clccrul.org, and then there is a link there for Community Law Project.
Okay, great.
So we can be reached by any of those methods. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Nonprofit U is a program that's geared to share lessons learned with nonprofit leaders. However, we've got a significant number of nonprofits that are working with for-profit businesses to, to make sure that they can spur economic development in their local communities. In most instances, they're working with entrepreneurs that are operating on a shoestring budget, and they often find that getting high-quality legal service is unaffordable. And as a result, they may go to, to lawyers that don't necessarily specialize in areas that they need the most help in. For example, for a real estate transaction, they may go to an attorney that's a generalist and who may not really understand real estate at all. They're just kind of learning on the client's dime. So what I find is the Community Law Project Small Business offers legal support to entrepreneurs who are starting or having their own businesses as a strategy to create financial independence. So can you give us a very high-level overview of what some of these services are, and then while you're at it, can you give us a range of the fees compared to some of the market rates, and then let our listeners know what they need to do before they come in and see you in order to make the visit most productive? And I know that was a whole mouthful.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Now, for the small business program, our legal services are offered at no cost. We do have a $35 application fee, but that really just covers our administrative cost of operating and processing the application for legal assistance. But the legal work is done at no cost to the client. And sometimes when I say that, people say, now that sounds just too good to be true. So, if it's free, am I really going to get a good attorney? And the answer is a very enthusiastic yes. Yes, you're going to receive a highly skilled, highly qualified attorney who is a top-level attorney at one of the top law firms in Chicago. And so from the time that people send in an application to they get matched with one of our volunteer attorney pool, you're going to be working with me. I'm the staff attorney here who works with the small business clients. And if the work goes out to one of the volunteer attorney pool, but at the time that match is made, the client gets to see the bio of the attorney who's going to be assigned to do the legal work that's requested. And also the information about the client is going to be shared with the information about the attorney is going to be shared with the client in advance, and the information about the legal work and the business is going to be shared with the volunteer attorney. So if it turns out that a file happens to be assigned to a more junior level attorney, then we make sure that there is a senior level or partner level attorney who's also assigned on the file to do the legal work. Now, if a client happens to be requesting legal work, like I said, related to forming a corporation or an LLC, for instance, there are filing fees with the Secretary of State's office for that. So the legal work will be done for free, but it will be the client's responsibility to pay the filing fees with the Secretary of State's office, as an example.
Okay.
And let me see. So as far as the legal services that we offer, it's really the full range of non-litigation legal services, helping businesses form or dissolve a corporation or an LLC. People has issues. We assist people with issues related to buying or selling real estate that's owned by the business, intellectual property work, and there's also some work that we do which is not necessarily legal, but it's services that a business needs. We help businesses with their business license applications, and we also help minority or women-owned businesses prepare their applications for the MBE or minority or business or person with disability status applications. We assist with that too. So
okay, what about veterans?
Now, as far as we haven't had any people requesting that legal assistance yet, helping with veteran business certification, but I'm sure we could do that too. Our volunteer attorney pool is very skilled, and I'm sure that would be pretty similar application anyway. So while that type of work is not legal, it's a bit of a paperwork nightmare, so we're there to assist people with that type of work too. For instance, every Wednesday between 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., we provide free walk-in consultations over at the City of Chicago Departments of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection in City Hall on the 8th floor. It's called the Solution Station. So people can just walk in and ask legal questions related to their business. And so we're there to answer questions there.
Okay, that's great. Angie, a thought just occurred to me. I know the attorneys who handle nonprofit organizations, from time to time, they may have issues as it relates to board development, bylaws and any other processes and systems as they relate to the board, say board policies and all that good stuff. Do you ever have a situation where small business owners may need help with board-related issues, or do the organizations tend to be a little bit less complex and may not necessarily have those issues yet?
Yeah, I would say it's not. When it comes to people who have for-profit businesses, the issues are not board-related. They may have questions or issues related to working with an employee and an independent contractor, for instance, and what are those differences. And then also there are laws that come out in the city of Chicago and across the state that affect their business. For instance, the minimum wage ordinance that was recently enacted, or sick leave policies. Lots of times small businesses, because they don't have an in-house legal staff, they'll hear about these new ordinances, laws that come out, and wonder, how do I comply with that? What do I need to do? And just are very confused. So what we'll do is we work to have publications, which we call legal alerts, and newsletters put out that we share with the community, and also provide lawyers to come out and speak on those topics.
Okay, great.
So,
alrighty.
The work, it's a lot, but we're really trying to meet the needs of the community.
Okay. And that you do. I said that. I said it before. You do meet the needs.
Work hard to do so. Oops. Oh, and then I want to share something else too. That every year we usually do 5 what we call clinics out in the community. And how a clinic is different from a workshop is that we will provide speakers on 2 or 3 different legal topics, and which are usually chosen by the community partners or it's usually local chambers of commerce that are involved and will host the clinic. So we find out from them like what legal topics does their constituency have a need to have somebody come out and speak on and share information on a particular legal topic. So the clinics usually involve 2 to 3 legal topics where there's 30-minute presentations, and then it's followed by, for the people who come out to the clinics, one-on-one consultations too. So over at the Community Law Project, we do 5 of those a year, and we've already done 4 for this year, but we have one more that's coming up.
Wow.
One more that's coming up on October 19th. And that one is going to happen to be with the Greater Roseland Chamber of Commerce, October 19th.
Okay.
It will be from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and it's going to be at the U.S. Bank Building on the 1000 East 111th Street. But more of the details related to that clinic will, as we get closer to the date, will be able to be found on our website and on our Facebook page. And if you just were to call into the office, we share information about our clinics, upcoming clinics.
Okay, and if you'd like, you have an open invitation to come on the show to promote it, say the week or so before, and talk about
that would be great.
What you guys are doing. Okay.
That sounds good.
All righty. So I just wanted to take a small break to talk about my upcoming compliance challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. And what I find that in my practice, regardless of what I'm dealing with, it all comes back to compliance. It could be a fundraising assignment, it could be strategic planning, it could be board development, financial management, but all roads always, and you probably know this from experience, at least, the folks in general at the Law Project, they always lead to compliance. So what I am going to do is a 30-day compliance challenge. It's a series of 4 webinars to show nonprofit leaders how to maintain their tax-exempt status and what to do if they lose it. And the overall goal is to work with organizations to bring them current on all their paperwork within 30 days of completing the series. So for our listening audience, if you're interested, you can email me at consulting@ValerieF.Leonard.com for further information. Again, that email address is consulting@ValerieF.Leonard.com. So back to
that sounds
you,
like
Angela.
a great service.
Yeah. I wish more people would take advantage of it. Unfortunately, that's not the sexiest thing that we do, and that's really not something that funders emphasize until they're making their funding decision. When people, but it's really, really important for people to maintain compliance because without compliance you can't raise funds. And without compliance, if you can't be trusted to follow the regulatory rules or the rules that your donor has in place, it's very, very difficult to convince them to give you more money.
Well, yes, absolutely true. It seems like it would be obvious, but sometimes in the world of nonprofits or small businesses, the people who are running
they
them
have
are
compliance issues.
Yeah, and they're just focused on running the nonprofit or running the business as far as, providing the service. But you still have to keep your paperwork up to date, obviously. And on the small business side, the legal needs of a small business, as in perhaps 1 or 2 owners, the legal requirements on you are as big as it would be on a Fortune 500 company. And sometimes people don't realize that. So you need to be sure that you're keeping your necessary paperwork up to date. And I guess on the for-profit side, something to be similar to is if the Secretary of State's office has your corporation or nonprofit move into being involuntarily dissolved. You never want to get yourself into that situation.
Right. Yeah, so that's interesting. So that sounds to me like an interesting workshop for you guys. I don't know if you have one, but when I think of compliance, since I focus on nonprofits, I always think about nonprofits, but the issue is just as real on the for-profit side.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. And so it's important for business people to keep up with their corporate status. But I will say that it is true that if, for instance, your business is involuntarily dissolved, it's true that you can get yourself back into good standing, but don't let yourself get into that situation, because in order to get back into good corporate standing after you've been involuntarily dissolved could cost you extra money, as in interest and penalties for being involuntarily dissolved. So don't let yourself get into that situation. Right, and then you'll find it difficult, if not impossible, to get loans or attract other investors too. Well, yes, absolutely, because it's just going to look bad on you as the business person if you're not keeping up with your paperwork and you let yourself be involuntarily dissolved. And also I'll say that the Secretary of State's Office of Business Services is in real time. So let's say you could be applying for a business loan with someone, and then they just go ahead and get on the website and put in the name of your business. If it shows up that you've been involuntarily dissolved or not in good corporate standing, that looks horrible for you. So, yes, it's just not a situation you want to be in. I believe that over here at Community Law Project, what we work to do is to make sure that people, like I said, take care of their legal needs, and we're really there to be able to help people do that for a low, for a very low cost.
Oh, okay. So we are going to open up the lines now. If anyone has any questions, I think Angie has given us some invaluable information. I'm learning a lot as I speak, with her today. If you have any questions, please feel free to call in at area code 347-884-8121. If you're in the chat room, feel free to post any questions that you might have. I think, we're getting some very, very good information, and I thank Angie from the very bottom of my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I was just going to say, happy to have this opportunity to put the word out there about what type of work we do.
No problem. Sometimes we find that entrepreneurs are so busy doing the day-to-day grind of starting and running their businesses that they forget to protect their intellectual property. And I know you touched on that before, and the same is true for nonprofit leaders. Can you tell us why it's so important for nonprofits and as well as small businesses to protect their intellectual property, and give us an overview of the intellectual property services you provide? And I guess before that, maybe break down, let us know what intellectual property is.
Okay. All right, because, I think it's a term we use pretty commonly, but lots of people are like, okay, what does that mean, intellectual property?
Right.
So, I think everybody knows that your business has certain tangible parts of your business, the products that you're selling, your business space, and so forth. But your business has intangible assets as well. Just about every small business has, of course, you've got a business name, and most businesses also have a logo. So people think of your business name and your logo. Businesses put a lot of thought into their name and their logo, and it's something that is very important to the business. It's part of what establishes your business's reputation in the marketplace. So you have to take steps to protect your business's logo, your business's name, your business's website, as a lot of people are doing business over the internet at this point. Because the short version would be, if you don't protect it, then someone else can use it and take it away from you and perhaps steal it. And then there'll be confusion in the community about your business and someone else's business. So it's important to protect your business name and your business's logo, and protecting certain work of your business. There are people out there who are playwrights and produce CDs and things of that sort that would be protected by copyrights. And then there's also people who have other types of intellectual property too, and also have trade secrets. So protecting those type of items through patents, copyrights, and trademarks is all under the umbrella of intellectual property. And so we have lawyers who are very skilled at intellectual property work too, who can provide legal assistance, either helping people file for protection of their logo or their name, or finding out if any other, to do searches too with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office or the Copyright Office.
So, again, if they were going to work with you, that service will be offered, sliding scale fee, or is it pro bono and they're still responsible for any filing or registration fees?
Oh, yes, it's all still pro bono. The work is still done on at no cost. But, yes, like you said, if there's any filing fees that are involved, registration fees, then it's the responsibility of the client to take care of that.
Oh, okay, great.
And I would say that, and I would just say that, especially when it comes to intellectual property work, it's rather complex, and it's something that people don't take care of. So we're happy to offer that service too over here at the Law Project.
Okay, great. All right, so you've already talked to us a little bit about, your event that's coming up on October 19th. Can you share a little bit about your upcoming event in September, where you're working with the Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection?
Okay. The Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection does small business expos on the road. They do 5 of those a year, and the Law Project always comes out to those and tables, as in sharing our legal information or information about our organization with the community, and also does brief consultations during those clinics also. So the next one that's coming up is going to be on Saturday, September the 16th, and it's going to be at Wright College, 4300 North Narragansett Avenue. And the small business expos on the road are always from, they start at 10 a.m. and go to 2 p.m. And those are really good opportunities for small business people to come out and get a huge amount of information in one place. So the Law Project is just one of many organizations that will be there sharing the information about the various phases of the work that's needed to assist small businesses.
Okay, great. And can you tell us once more about your walk-in clinics, the hours and how people can get in contact with you and what's required before folks walk in?
Oh, yes. Sure. Now, every Wednesday, we're at Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection in City Hall, 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., and you can either walk in, schedule an appointment. If you want to schedule an appointment, then you do that directly with the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. The phone number to call to schedule an appointment is 312-774-2086, or you can email them too. And the email address is bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. And then also, too, we can assist people with scheduling an appointment directly here at the Law Project, too. So those are the days where we offer walk-in free consultations downtown. But then we also have monthly legal clinics that we do out in the community. One of them that we do is with Rogers Park Business Alliance. They are at 1448 West Morse Avenue, and that is once a month, and you just contact Rogers Park Business Alliance to schedule to be one of our consultations. We do that for 2 hours. 2 hours, and we have them schedule 30-minute consultations for us. And we also do one of those walk-in clinics monthly on the south side of Chicago with Sunshine Enterprises. And their address is 503 East 61st Street. And again, it's that one is on the third Tuesday of every month from 9 to 11 a.m. And did I tell you when we do it at Rogers Park Business Alliance? I don't think I did, but that is always on the third Thursday of the month. I'm sorry, I'm going second Thursday of the month. I'm going by memory. Okay. Sorry about that. But if you contact us over here at Community Law Project, we can give you that information.
Okay, awesome. So you've got the north side and the south side locations for the walk-ins.
And exactly, for the monthly legal help desk walk-ins. And then every Wednesday, if you rather come downtown, that's when you can catch us also.
Okay. All righty. I'm going to work with you, make sure you get something on the west side at some point.
Okay.
I know that could probably be a capacity issue, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and that's what we do, at least every year, if not more often than that. We evaluate the effectiveness of what we're doing, and we work to meet the need. Like you said, it can sometimes be a capacity issue, but we're working hard to be out there as much as we can. Okay.
Now, another hot topic is property taxes. We're in an environment where we're looking at the impact of property taxes on low-income minority communities, and it occurred to me that small businesses and nonprofit businesses, especially those in the hardest hit communities, they may have issues with a number of different taxes. So can you share with us some of the ways that you can help small businesses, including nonprofits, with tax issues?
Well, tax issues is a huge area, but I would say if a nonprofit has general questions related to your real estate taxes and sales tax exemptions, that we would, that's a good part of the work that we do. Community Law Project can definitely assist nonprofit organizations that are seeking sales tax exemption applications, and as well as we provide assistance to organizations to help them apply for tax-exempt status with the IRS. On the individual side, just last month we had a workshop called Understanding Your Property Tax Bill. And during that workshop we helped people, we had people come in, bring their property tax bills, understand what all that, what all the various charges are, what they mean. And we also provide assistance for people with property tax exemption applications. There's a good number of different type of property tax exemptions applications you can do. There's the homeowner's exemption, there's a senior exemption, a disability, military, and veterans exemptions. But then we also provided information about the property tax appeal process, too, in that, once you receive your property tax bill, you may be able to appeal it. So we provided that information, too.
Oh, my goodness,
we
that's
have,
awesome.
so there was a lawyer there who was explaining how to apply for the exemptions, and then also we have lawyers who can assist with doing those exemption applications, and then someone to explain the property tax appeal process.
Okay, great. I just want to take another break for a slight commercial. I want to talk to folks about my capacity building webinar. It's geared to help nonprofits get a better understanding of what it takes to build organizations that stand the test of time. So if you're interested in learning more about capacity building, the types of activities that organizations should engage in, across the broad spectrum in terms of building their capacity, me a call at 773-571-3886 or email me at consulting@ValerieFLeonard.com. The workshop, will be about an hour and a half from 10 o'clock a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I am in the process of scheduling the best time, so if you're interested, give me a call. All righty. I'm sorry. I just had to do a little commercial.
Oh, yes. No problem.
Okay. And speaking of commercials, you have an event coming up, The Power of Connection. Can you tell us about The Power of Connection?
Sure. Well, over here at Community Law Project, a big part of what we do, obviously, is connecting pro bono attorneys with community-based nonprofits, with entrepreneurs, with social visionaries, and with first-time home buyers. So this year, the theme of our Power of Connection event, which is our annual fundraiser, our theme is going to be, the theme is, and it has been for the last couple of years, Power of Connection. But this year we're going to be featuring some of our urban garden clients who are going to be showcasing their summer produce, and we're going to have a small business. Yes, so we're going to have a small business client there, too, who's going to be selling her natural skincare and hair products. So we are calling the event our Farmers Market in the Sky, and that is going to be held, on August 24th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's in the sky because it is at one of our partner law firms is where it's going to be held at Skadden Arps, and they are at 155 North Wacker Drive. So we're very excited, and we invite people to, we have a lot of our community partners who are there, and we have individuals who come and support our legal work and buy individual tickets to the event. Then we also have a discounted rate for students and public interest and nonprofit individuals. And then also there are bigger organizations that are official sponsors of the event. So, Valerie, we are hoping that you are going to come out to the Power of Connection this year for sure, and that other people in the nonprofit community are going to come out to the Power of Connection too, because it's every year it's wonderful to see a lot of our community partners come out and support our work, and we're a community, so we all are out there to support each other.
Okay, I got it down. Got it for my calendar. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, don't forget, August the 24th.
Yes, ma'am. So can you tell us some of the work that you do with nonprofits who are doing for-profit businesses? They might be interested in a social enterprise, how you might help them out.
Oh, yeah, sure. As far as social enterprises go, we do legal work related to them also, and we help with the social entrepreneurs really figure out, do they want to, is a social enterprise actually for them? And then with the social enterprise, should it be set up as primarily a nonprofit business or primarily as a for-profit business? And the issues related to that really have a lot to do with the social entrepreneurs, the organization's mission and goals. So social enterprises are a newer area of work that we're doing, but it's valuable. It's a wonderful newer type of corporate structure, and we have we're providing the direct legal services for that, and we also have a publication too called Legal Structures for Social Enterprises that are available on our resource page of our website too. So people can just do some reading about social enterprises to maybe answer some of their basic questions about them. And also, whenever we're out in the community, people have a lot of questions about social enterprises too. So we're there to answer those questions and help people make their legal decisions, form these type of organizations too.
Okay, great. Okay, we are winding down. If you have a burning question that you have not yet called in to ask, now is the time. You can give us a call at area code 347-884-8121. Again, that number is area code 347-884-8121. If you're in the chat room, feel free to post a question so that I can share it. Okay. So
I know I feel like this. The time went so fast. I really do feel that way.
It did. It did. I mean, you guys do so much, and quite frankly, we haven't covered everything that I wanted to talk about. So that means you have to come back on so we could talk about those things that we have yet to talk about. But
yes, yep.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about was, the fact that you work with small businesses as well as nonprofits to engage in collaborations. And these could be along a broad spectrum. It could be something so simple as an MOU, an informal, non-binding instrument, just basically outlining how people are going to work together, all the way up to, say, a full-blown merger or acquisition. But can you share some of the services that you might provide in that work, and let us know, how we might approach you if we're interested in learning more about that offline?
Okay. I'm sorry, Valerie. Give me that question again. I want to be sure I answer it correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about the way people can collaborate. So collaborations could be something as simple as an MOU, which is informal, telling people, we're going to work this way. Here are the partners. And then, or it could be something as formal as a complete takeover of a business or nonprofit. I just want to get a sense for the kind of work that your organization does in the area of collaboration, helping organizations and businesses collaborate. It could be a partnership agreement, it could be MOUs, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. On the nonprofit side, another way that these collaborations happen or do happen is sometimes one organization is seeking fiscal sponsorship from another organization too.
Oh, okay.
And so, there's a good amount of legal issues involved with merging two organizations together on the nonprofit side. And when it comes to small business clients, sometimes people are involved with selling their business to another organization, or perhaps now there may be an investor who, is going to provide some sort of capital or other funding and wants to have a part ownership in the company. So these are complex issues. Lots of times when people have the nonprofit or the small business, they get very excited that someone wants to invest money in their business and say, oh, sure, I'll give you 20%, you give me $10,000, and let's go, let's do this. But what we really get them to see is that you have to properly value your business first. Make sure we help them see that you need to be sure that that investment amount that someone is putting into your business is actually worth perhaps 20%. And before you have another party who you're going to give partial ownership of your business to, you should find out some information about that particular person or business, see if they are actually qualified to be an owner of a business, and make sure that you have really thought about your business valuation issues. So these are issues that we are really there to help with, and also we call that area succession planning too, and planning for the next phase of your business. How is your business going to operate if you decease, or if you were involved with a business partner and that partner wants to separate and start their own business perhaps. So these are complex legal issues, and so we're there to help with all the legal issues related to that. We've got business attorneys who work in this area all the time, who volunteer with us and can really guide people through that process. And on the nonprofit side, like you said, it could be an MOU, but an attorney needs to review that. An MOU, a fiscal sponsorship, or a more complex mergers and acquisitions should all be handled with the assistance of an attorney. And the law project, community law project, is there for people to see. No matter how small you are, there are attorneys and legal services that are out there for you to provide you with assistance.
Wow. I tell you, I have learned a whole lot that I did not know, and I've had, about 3 or 4 interviews with different attorneys from the law project, since I started. And I am still amazed that, how much I learn every time I have one of you on the show. So I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. We've run out of time, Angie, but before we go, I just wanted to see if you had any parting thoughts, and then let us know how we can reach you. If you want to give another plug for your event, feel free to do so.
Oh, absolutely. So I see we are rather time pressed, but for anyone who wants more information about the Law Project, Community Law Project, you can check out our website, clccrul.org, and click the link for Community Law Project. And also our telephone number is 312-939-3638. We have a Facebook page too, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And like you said, Valerie, we have so many different areas that we provide legal assistance in related to nonprofits and the community and to for-profit businesses. It's hard to cover it all in an hour. So we would be happy to talk to you anytime you'd like to talk with us.
Okay, great. So I want to say thank you to our listening audience for listening to Nonprofit U Blog Radio Talk Show. The show should be available for download within about an hour. Tune in next week when our guest will be Mark Lane. He's the founder of Mark J. Lane Wealth Group. I am looking forward to a very lively discussion. So until then, take care, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we go out to eat, we never agree on where to go.
I want burgers. Pizza.
Tacos it is.
The one thing we do agree on is we all want unlimited high-speed data. That's why we switched to Metro PCS.
Stop by Metro PCS with the whole family and get 4 lines with unlimited LTE data for just $100, period. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out.
Coverage not available in some areas. Offers require port and of number not currently active on T-Mobile network. During congestion, the fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video streams at up to 40p. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.